Cypress Fairbanks Independent School District presents the Primary Practices On-Demand Video Collection, which highlights powerful classroom management strategies for primary educators. Our final series of videos, Cultivating a Culture of Co-Regulation, aims to equip and empower you with brain-based strategies for helping students build emotional regulation skills. We introduce the concept and importance of self-regulation on the tail end of Primary Practices 2. It is defined as a balanced and steady state of internal energy, emotions, thoughts, and physiological processes. But how do students learn this skill? It begins with external regulation, or when one has direct intervention from another person, like a caregiver. Next, as one begins to develop some regulation, he or she is able to maintain it with support. And at last, an individual is able to find and maintain regulation independently. This is a direct result of consistent co-regulating experiences over time. In our classrooms, we have the most influence over the process of co-regulation. Co-regulation is described as the interactive process by which adults promote self-regulation through coaching, modeling, and feedback, while maintaining supportive relationships and environments. So why do we need to regulate? Let's check out a short video on the brain's response to stress and consider how it impacts us and our students.
Ever felt a big reaction to something and not known why? Here's a way to help you understand your brain and manage your behaviour. The hand model of the brain. The bottom of your hand represents the brainstem and is involved with the automatic physical processes that keep us alive, like breathing and our heart rate. Your thumb is your limbic system, and with your brainstem forms part of your emotional brain. This helps you to manage and understand your feelings and stress responses. The outside of your hand and fingers are your cortex, or your thinking brain. When the thinking and emotional brain work together, it's easier to manage your emotions, talk with others, and problem solve. But if you feel surprised, unsafe, or scared, your emotional brain takes immediate action. It can act much faster without working with your thinking brain, so you flip your lid. If you're in real danger, acting fast can help keep you safe, and that's really important. And then when the danger has passed, your lid comes back on. Your thinking brain is back in control. But sometimes we flip our lids when we don't need to. How we think and behave isn't helpful. You can practice putting your lid back on by breathing slowly or by spending time with someone you trust. This tells your emotional brain you are safe, and it can work with your thinking brain again. Now your whole brain can help you manage your behaviour and your feelings.
When students are dysregulated, it can be challenging to stay regulated ourselves. For example, it all started when Ricky, one of my students, was throwing little pieces of paper during the math lesson. My response was I paused the lesson and I told him to pick up the paper, put it in the trash, and pay attention. Ricky's response to this was that he got embarrassed and angry, so he refused. My response to his refusal was I stood up and walked over to him, and I started counting down loudly from 5. When I did this, he got up and he ran out of the classroom. My response to this is that I called for assistance because I couldn't leave the rest of the class. So how did that go? Well, the outcome was that I was obviously very frustrated. Ricky was unsafe because he was without adult supervision and he had to be located. And not only that, he missed the entire math lesson and was dysregulated for the rest of the day. So let's reflect on this interaction. Was I co-escalating or co-regulating? Another way to process this is through the conflict cycle. This framework helps us understand how perceptions, thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are connected and how they impact the behavior of others. When Ricky was tearing up paper, I told him in front of the class to pick it up, throw it away, and pay attention. He thought that I had embarrassed him, and so he felt mad. His behavior then was to refuse my request. I then got up, walked to him, and started counting down. We can clearly see from this example of the conflict cycle how small situations can quickly escalate. So how do we break this cycle and successfully co-regulate with our students? Say to yourself, it starts with me. This means that as the adult in the classroom, our first step is to actively stay calm ourselves. Tune into the second part of this series to gain strategies and skills to help manage big emotions from our littlest learners. We encourage you to implement the strategies from this video to enhance your classroom management. Thank you for taking the time to view our professional development on demand.